Hey mom, good day everyone. My topic is all about gear fabrication and maintenance, designs and fabrication of some fishing gears in the Philippines. My first topic is all about drift gill net. Drift gill net is a long vertical wall of netting, usually made of nylon that hangs in the water column without anchoring, drifting with the current to catch fish like tuna, salmon, and mackerel by gilling them in the mesh or entangling their fins as they swim into it. So the picture is as an example of drift gill net. Drift gill net. For mackerel, flying fish, sardines, and other small pelagic species, the nets are made of nylon monofilament of 0.20 mm to 0.40 mm, diameter with mesh size from 25 mm to 90 mm. For tuna species, the material is nylon monofilament PA 210/12 to 210/18 in the main webbing whole iron rings, and or thicker monofilament nettings 210/30 to 210/36 are used as weights. The mesh size range from 50 mm to 90 mm. There are 10 to 20 meshes of thicker netting acting as weights in the lower portion of the webbing. The net may be set or drift with the current or tide to the bangka during operations. The manta ray gill net is made of polyethylene number 4, 2 mm with 650 mm mesh size. The net consists of different colors, green, yellow, and black, with corresponding numbers of meshes. The depth of the net is around 30 meters. The next one is bottom gill net. Bottom gill net is a passive fishing net, essentially a wall of netting anchored to the seabed with floats on top and weights below, designed to catch fish and other marine life that swim into it and get entangled by their gills as they try to pass through the mesh. Bottom gill net. The crab net is made of nylon monofilament of 0.20 mm, diameter with a mesh size of 30 mm. The most peculiar feature is the limited number of meshes dowel, which has only 60 meshes. Gill nets used for migrating species is constructed with nylon monofilament of 0.25 mm diameter and a mesh size of 42 mm. Some nets use nylon monofilament of 0.4 mm diameter with a bigger mesh size of 120 mm. The most common material for bottom gill nets is the nylon monofilament of 0.20 mm to 0.40 mm diameter and mesh size from 30 mm to 150 mm. Next is a trammel net. Trammel net is multi-layered fishing net with two outer walls of large mesh and slack, fine mesh inner wall, weighting packets that entangle fish as they swim through the large meshes, making it efficient for catching various species and sizes by trapping them in a bag-like formation rather than just gilling them. Trammel net. In the original design, the two outer layers have the same twine and mesh size, the number of vertical and horizontal meshes. The hanging rate is more stretched than the inner layer. The inner layer has a small mesh size, fine twine, and more slack. Other designs commonly use nylon monofilament PA 0.30 mm to 0.40 mm, diameter and mesh size of 76.2 mm, which is the first layer, 50.8 mm for the second layer, and 38.1 mm for the third layer. In catching garfish, the first layer has a mesh size of 6.9 cm, while the second layer has a mesh size of 4.35 cm. With the same twine size PA of 0.30 monofilament, the first layer is hung at 51%, with the second layer of 47% direct method. The next one is an encircling gill net. It is a vertical fishing net often used in shallow waters that surround schools of fish like sardines or mackerel. By forming a circle or semicircle with fishermen using noise or splashes to panic the fish into gilling themselves in the mesh as the net is holden. That is an example of encircling gillnet. Encircling gillnet. Nylon monofilament of 0.25 mm and multifilament 210D/2 with varying mesh sizes from 28 mm to 40 mm are the material most commonly used. The depth varies from 16 to 24 meters. A man push net or simply push net is a type of fishing gear consisting of a bag-shaped or triangular net attached to a rigid frame with a handle or poles. The net is operated by a person who pushes it forward in shallow waters to capture fish and shrimp. The picture shows as an example of man push net. Man push net. The net is mostly constructed from fine twine with a mesh size of nylon. Monofilament 210D/2 to 210D/4. The polyethylene Meno net 400D/6. The length of the net is 1.7 to 5.0 meter, while the ground drop is 1.25 to 4.0 meter. The poles are either made of bamboo or mangrove wood. It is 1.8 to 4.0 meter long with a diameter of 3 to 5 centimeter. The end of the poles are provided with gliders or shoes to prevent the poles from sticking to the bottom. A boat push net or just push net is a simple fishing tool, a large scoop with net held open by scissor-like poles pushed by hand or small boat in shallow waters to catch shrimp, small fish, and larvae by sweeping the bottom. That is an example of boat push net. Boat push net. The poles are either bamboo or wooden electric poles 6 to 25 meter long and 5 to 30 centimeter diameter depending on the size of gear and boat. The anterior portion, which is provided with gliders or shoes, 25 cm to 40 cm long and 4.8 cm wide for small poles and 2 meter longs by 70 cm wide for bigger wooden poles are common. The tip of the shoe holder is loosely bolted. The metal base to allow the shoes to slide, and for the net may be either nylon PA 210D/2 7.5 mm mesh size and polyethylene 380D/9 minnow nets for aceties, other used 400D 6/24 and 380D/16 to 18, 3 mm to 55 mm mesh size from the bag of the upper and lower portions for anchovy and shrimp. The length of the ground rope ranges from 5 to 25 meter while the net is 6 to 33 meter long. A scoop net or deep net is a handled fishing tool with a mesh bag held open by a rigid frame on a handle, used to catch fish or other aquatic life by scooping them from water. Common in artisanal fishing, used for small catches, landing bigger fish, or for species like shrimp, often operated manually or from boats, sometimes with lights at night. The handle, 0.5 to 2.0 meter long, is made of bamboo or wooden pole 2 to 5 cm diameter. The circular frame, which is made of stainless steel or galvanized wire of 5 mm to 6 mm diameter, holds the net, which resembles a purse. The mouth opening of the frame is 28 to 45 cm diameter. The net has a circumference of about 264 to 450 cm and a depth of 45 cm to 120 cm. It is most made of nylon multifilament 210D2 or mono nylon PA 0.50 mm and 9/30 mm mesh sizes. Next one, a crab lift net. It is a simple fishing gear, often baited, used in shallow waters to catch crabs by entangling them as the net is lifted from the seabed. It typically uses a frame, square or round, supporting netting with floats and weights for positioning, and is operated from shore or small boats. sometimes called bintol or sapiao in the Philippines. The picture is an example of crab lift net. Crab lift net, the frame is usually square, 40 to 60 cm along the sides. The height for the frame varies from 7 to 20 cm and measures 70 cm by 1 cm diameter. The net is either nylon monofilament or multi-filament 210D/3 and PA mono f.25 to 50 mm with 30 to 76 mm mesh size. A retrieving line made of PA f4 mm with styrofoam or bamboo floats is tied to the center of the frame. Stone or lead weights are tied at the top of the bamboo frames or at the tip of the bamboo frames. Next one is shrimp lift net. It is a small fishing net, often square or rectangular, suspended in water to catch shrimp, usually by luring them with light or bait, then quickly lifted or raised to trap them. Commonly used to shallow coastal waters, estuaries, or ponds featuring variations like stationary nets or handled versions, and relies on shrimp being attracted to the light and movement at night. The picture is an example of shrimp lift net. Shrimp lift net. The bamboo frame measures 2.6 meters long by 1.5 centimeter diameter with a height of 1.1 meters. The net is made of nylon mono 0.7 millimeter or nylon mono multi-filament 210D/2 with 10 millimeter mesh size. It is square, being 75 centimeter on all sides along the bamboo frames at 60 centimeter. Above the net are stones weighing 100 to 200 grams. The last one is a fish lift net. It is a fishing tool with an upward-facing netting panel, flat or bag shape, submerged in water, using lights or bait to lure fish over it before being rapidly lifted to catch them. It's a versatile, often small-scale method used globally, from simple hand net to large mechanized version of catching small fish, squid, and shrimp. Fish lift net. The net is 10.8 meters long by 9 meters wide and 4.2 meters deep. It is made of nylon multi-filament 210D/4 with 8 mm